If the two pitches were thrown together, when the 100-mile-an-hour pitch reaches home plate, the 92-mile-an-hour pitch would still have 4.5 feet left to travel.
When you're throwing 92, you could read the Major League logo on the ball. You can see the seams, you can see all that. But when a guy throwing 100, it looked like a golf ball. Good luck.
It's kind of funny to say it, but it's night and day, 92 and 100. You feel as though you have a lot longer to hit when actually you don't.
The difference between, say, a 90-mile-an-hour ball takes about 450 milliseconds to get to plate, and a 100-mile-an-hour ball takes 396 milliseconds. That 50-some-odd milliseconds is crucial brain time. 50 milliseconds is an eternity in this kind of a process. If you, as a rough estimate, assume that every synaptic connection takes about 2 milliseconds, an extra 50 milliseconds or so gives you about 25 times the number of computations. So you get about 25 times the information just because you have that extra 50 milliseconds. But at 100 miles an hour, you're given almost no time to make a decision. And it's getting close to that range of where it's physiologically impossible to actually plan the voluntary action based off the information in the ball.
When the pitcher's mound was set at precisely 60 feet 6 inches from home plate, the game of baseball was set in perfect balance. A showdown between the fastest it's humanly possible to throw a ball and the fastest it's humanly possible to react to it.
You're not going to have that many moments in your life where you're going to see the edge of human performance meeting the edge of human performance. And so when they actually do meet, it's a beautiful thing. The pitcher is pushing the limits of how fast a ball can go. And that limit is coming close to the limit of how fast a hitter can make a decision. And so you have these two extremes of human performance doing this kind of dance right at the edge of where their biology is constraining them.
We have these very basic events that are going on, throwing a rock and hitting it with a stick. And it's only when we realize how hard these things are, how precisely balanced batters and pitchers are, that we really come to appreciate the beauty in this and the marvelous way that the game is set up to make this balance fair.
The pitcher winds up. As the pitcher's arm swings around, the hitter's brain can make a little prediction as to roughly the trajectory of the ball before it's even left the pitcher's hand.
And then the pitch is released.
A 100-mile-an-hour fastball reaches the plate in 396 milliseconds, faster than the blink of an eye.
Anytime that you blink is by you. That's how hard the fastball is coming to you if it's 100 miles an hour. If you blink, by you.
Unlike any other sport, the game comes down to what a person can do in less time than it takes to say the word fastball.
Imagine we start a clock as the pitcher releases the ball.
That starts this propagation of computations that happen in the brain that trying to localize where the ball is in space and where it's going. It tries to predict the ball's trajectory.
The ball is moving too fast for you to be able to track it with your eyes moment to moment. Your eye is rushing ahead to the point where you expect to see the ball. You don't know exactly where it's going to be, but you're making your best guess. And you have a couple hundred milliseconds at best to pick the next position where you're going to put your eyes. So right at midway, you get one glance at the ball. That's your decision point. You better be planning your swing now if you're going to hope to hit the ball.
If you're used to seeing a ball moving at a certain speed, let's say 90 miles an hour is your average experience of seeing balls, that prediction is going to put you where the ball would be if it's traveling at that assumed speed.
You move your eyes to right where the position of the ball should be for a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. But lo and behold, this pitcher has some extra gas, and they pitched it at 103 miles an hour. It left the pitcher's hand, you looked where it should be, it isn't there, and from your perspective, it's almost as if it disappeared. Poof, it's gone.